Ah, young grasshopper.
Gotta cut you down. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down.
Consider
Go tell
this
that long-tongued
very, very
liar.
close to this. Now, on top of that, how many originals can we have?
One.
Now, which is the original? Now, you have this.
That's all we have.
Okay, but just a sec. Do you have this that you said you copied it off this?
That's right.
And this was copied off, this was created in 1847. Is that correct?
That's right.
Where is this document that this was copied from?
To the best of my knowledge, it would be in the Ontario Archives
Where will I find that?
in Toronto.
Okay, could I have that address?
Yep.
Are these some documents that you can leave with me?
Yep, you can have that. That's their mailing, their address, phone
So
number.
you believe they will have this original document that they sent you this microfiche on?
Yeah, like once we microfilm, even to this day,
Yeah.
okay, when we issue, every 4 or 5 years, when we issue
Right.
enough present date letters patent,
Yep. But these present date letter of patent, you actually had this transferred to you from the Crown.
No, it's coming from the Crown. Elizabeth II to whoever's named as the patentee.
That process hasn't changed.
That hasn't changed.
Okay, can I have a copy of this document?
Yep.
Okay.
Has it got any names on it?
No, I blacked out the names.
Okay.
Okay.
See, that's the only difference, is this is the original, a photocopy of the actual original patent, because we have the technology to photocopy.
Now,
This is not, or sorry, that is not an
so
actual.
is the province of Canada different than the province of Ontario?
You have to talk to a lawyer about that one. I don't know.
A lawyer. These lawyers
I'm
really
not a constitutional lawyer, so I don't, you'd have to have somebody that's an expert. It was the government of the day.
Right.
If you look at older patents, it'll say the province of Upper Canada.
Okay.
Province, it just.
And some of them were transferred directly from the Indians. Like there's people out there close to me that didn't have a land patent. It came right from the Indian treaty.
That I can't
People.
speak to. I don't know. I can't
Okay.
speak to that.
Well, I'm just, like, things can get so big and confusing that it's easy to believe something that isn't. And one of the big things I am aware of is this American dollar and the Federal Reserve note, which everybody thinks is an American dollar. Just like you think this here was a copy of that microfiche is the copy of an original land patent.
No, I've never said it's a copy of the original land patent. It's
It's a copy of your record.
Our record of the issuance of that.
So how would the province of Ontario, you're telling me that if I go down to the archives here at 134 Ian MacDonald Boulevard, you've been there before?
No.
You've never been here?
No.
Well, I mentioned to Peter here that I was putting him on notice, so I'll put you on notice as well, that you're dealing in what I believe to be counterfeited, number one, and you're uttering now, number two, counterfeited documents, which is clearly fraud. Okay? So I really suggest you better attend this place, because I'm sure gonna, and I'm gonna be talking to the minister, just to find out what they think they gain out of this. Now, just to give you a little more background, this isn't the only place the province is up to its neck in fraud. There are 3 areas in the main that they seem to want to take ownership of.
Sorry, where?
3 areas in our society.
I
I think I mentioned this to Peter in my conversation with him. They want to look after taking possession of you and me. They want to look after taking possession of all transportation. Okay? And they want to look after taking control over all lands. And they're doing it through a registration process. Okay? And they claim to be holding here an original document, you tell me, that's down at MacDonald Boulevard, which I was told I thought was up here on the 2nd floor, but you're telling me it's only microfiche that's on the 2nd floor, correct?
No, this is upstairs in our office on the 5th floor.
On the 5th, what's in the 2nd floor?
The 2nd floor is our file room.
For what?
For just all the files dealing with with land sales over the years, with different.
So this one document might have a file of
Yes.
correspondence with whoever was going to receive the property,
Yeah.
you know, agreeing on the price and the description of the property, and so that's an
In
actual...
2009.
Yeah.
But you don't have an original document in that second floor
No.
relating to this deal here,
No, we don't have an original document. In fact, we wouldn't
back
even
in
have
1847.
and we wouldn't even have a file on that one because it's.
So what do you think would happen if I made up a similar copy of, say, a $50 bill and started handing it out as a true and faithful copy of an original? You see, this is what they do up in Thunder Bay. They hold the original, and I think here they're claiming to hold an original, which obviously isn't. It's a close copy, maybe. But up in Thunder Bay, they hold the original registration of your birth, and they'll only issue you a copy. Okay? And it's the same with your vehicle. You go to buy a new vehicle, and they will take the bill of sale, the original manufacturer statement of origin, it's called, and stick it. I'm ready to find this out. I think it's in Kingston. It might be in Downsview. And then they issue people another registration. And you see, this property here, they've taken this document here, this patent, and issued a registration for these properties throughout the province. It used to be in county registries, and now they've, with this beautiful electronic age, shoved them into an electronic database that's owned by a company. Do you know where from?
No.
Saudi Arabia. And they've shifted everything to PIN numbers. I understand there's all kinds of skullduggery going on in here through the mappings of lands with American companies. You're not, it's likely not on your floor, okay? But there's been people down here from Opera, hundreds of property rights groups that this company operates out of this office here in Peterborough, teamed up with American. Well, it's just like the licensing offices for the transportation. They've teamed up with a company called Serco in Britain. You go into an Ontario Drive Test Center, it's not an Ontario office at all, it's a Serco office. And Ontario is the small player in that field. And their purpose since 1929 has been to identify living people. And since the mid-'80s and then into the '90s, this is the way they identify them. And this here mother database is in India for Ontario. Imagine that.
So Steve and I don't know.
You don't know the other two, but you do know you're operating. Okay, you do know you're operating in here. So I've got some clarity on this. You do not have the original.
No, we do not.
And you don't even, like I see on this document, you've got 3 pages in 2009. But you soaked me $50 for this, and you couldn't even put another page to it to finish off the bottom.
Because that's all there is. That's all we have. Whatever's on this microfilm.
You're telling me you've got no more than what's on there?
Nope. That's it. You can sort of see it through the light. That, I mean, it's a one-pager. That's all there is.
Okay. Now, would it be asking too much if you could ask Mr. Ferguson to put a little letter together for me, explaining what you've just explained to me here today?
Yeah. The process, yeah.
Big bird?
The
process.
Young grasshopper.
Gotta cut you down. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Go tell that long-tongued liar. Go and tell that midnight rider. Tell the rambler.